Hey, okay, so as humans, we are all creatures of habit, and a lot of those habits are bad. In this video, I'm going to go over how I overcome my bad habits. Okay, so whether it's overeating, overthinking, eating what you're not supposed to, smoking, over drinking, whatever it might be that's causing you pain. Maybe it's physical pain, maybe it's emotional pain, psychological pain, financial pain, whatever that is, you want to stop it, okay? But how? That's what we're going to talk about. Let's get started. Okay, so the good news is that as humans, we hate pain, okay? And we'll do anything to get away from pain. We'll avoid pain at all costs. So that means you just have to associate the pain with the habit. Well, first off, you have to remember the pain that they are causing. And not just remember the pain, but remember it well enough that in the time of your weakness and when you're going to be maybe in a place where you could do this bad habit, you have to say no and have that pain in your mind enough to be able to do that. And there's 4 tips that I have on how to do that. Okay, so number 1 is identify your bad habit. Seems pretty obvious, right? Now I want you to take that and put it in the comments below. That way we can help encourage you, and when you put it down in the comments, you're going to be held accountable by other people, and maybe you'll be more likely to stick with it. So that's number 1. Step number 2 is identify the pain that it causes. Now I want you to think about it deeply too. Like, don't just be like, well, this doesn't cause me pain. Like, I'm not talking about just physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, financial pain, pain to your children, pain to your loved ones, you know? So identify the pain that it causes and write that down. And identify it to who it affects. Like, write those things down. That's step 2. So number 3 is make a visual cue of things that are going to remind you of this pain. Whether it's pictures of your children or pictures of you physically sick from the thing you're doing or trying to stop doing. Whatever is going to be powerful to you that reminds you of this bad habit and why you should not keep doing it. And then put it in your phone, put it in a separate folder or whatever, put multiple pictures in there so that when you're going to do this bad habit, you're going to do it, you can look at it and be like, no, this is why, you know, like, I love my son, I don't want to do this. Or, you know, I love myself too much to do this to myself. Like, I don't want to gain 10 more pounds, you know, I'm trying to lose the weight. Like, you have to have visual cues that help you in those weakness times. And finally, number 4, this one is really powerful if you can do it. And a lot of us can now because we all have, not all, but just about all of us have a phone that takes video. I want you to make a video to yourself telling you why you want to stop this thing, why you want to quit this habit, why it's so important to you, who you're hurting, why you're hurting them. Be detailed. And then when you're in that weakness, watch that video, okay? Now if you slip and you go and you do this bad habit, it's unlikely you're going to just stop cold turkey like that, a bad habit. So when you slip, if you slip, I hope you don't, but I'm just saying, if you do, then record yourself after you slipped and tell yourself how that makes you feel. And tell yourself, your future self, don't do this again, you know? It's really powerful to see a video from yourself to yourself in a time of pain, okay? So do that. Trust me, just try it. What can it hurt? You know, maybe 3 megabytes on your phone? So just give it a try and let me know. If you try it, comment below, let me know if it worked. If it didn't work, let me know. Maybe I can help think of something else that will help you with your specific thing. Everyone's different, everyone's unique, and we all have different ways of going at things. This is something that's helped me, and I hope that it helps you. So I want to share with you now like a personal story of how I've used this to help myself out. I have several health issues. I have a bone marrow disease and heart condition and a bunch of food allergies and stuff. And when I found out that I had celiac disease, I was in the 11th grade and everything, and I was getting really sick all the time. I mean, like, horrible pains. I was going to the bathroom like 15 times a day, like, and I'd be in there for like an hour, like, just like, oh, like, feeling like I was gonna die. Just, your stomach feels like it's being like butchered from the inside and twisted and on fire, like, all at once. It was the most horrible pain, like, that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's just horrible pain, and you just start sweating profusely and just horrible pain. I mean, your body's like eating itself up in there, you know, attacking itself. So, anywho, my point is that I had all these horrible pains from things that I would eat, and once I found out what it was and I cut those things out, then, you know, I started feeling a lot better. Now, fast forward to 2009, and I started getting sick again and everything, and that's when the bone marrow came up, and I had to get the pacemaker and everything like that. And I started having stomach issues and stuff again, and it wasn't because I was eating any kind of gluten. I was really careful, you know, not to eat wheat or gluten or anything, but I had developed other food allergies that I didn't know about because I was eating the same thing all the time. I developed sensitivities to certain foods and everything, and then they would cause me pain. And because I was already so limited on what I could eat, then like I would overeat, especially at nighttime. I would like come home from work, and then like I would eat a bunch of cereal and eat a bunch of food, and then the next morning I'd get up and I'd be super sick again, and I'd be like, oh, I'm never doing that again, you know. Then the next day, then I want to eat until, you know, the afternoon to the evening or whatever. Then I eat way too much, and it'll be a vicious cycle. And yeah, I was skinny, but like I had a massive overeating like problem because like I love food. I've always loved food since I was little, and so then you get those food allergies and you can't eat those things. It's really hard, and it's taken over a decade, you know, like to where I'm at now, to where I don't eat anything I'm not supposed to. I mean, I haven't had chocolate in 10 years. I haven't had dairy in 10 years, or wheat or gluten since the 11th grade. So like I'm very strict with that stuff now, but back then I wasn't, and I would get sick over and over and over, and it created a lot of problems and a lot of pain. So finally I was like, I've got to remember this pain. You know, like when I'm in the bathroom, I'm like keeled over and I'm in there just like, oh, in so much pain. I was like, you got to remember this pain, okay? So that's when I was like, okay, so I'm going to make a video telling myself, you know, hey, Paul, remember this pain, this is horrible, you know, just like in tears, like crying, like it's horrible, horrible pain. Do not do this to yourself. And over time, that worked. You know, like watching it, like when the moments, like, and I would start eating less and less. And there's other tips, like specifically with food related, that I could help you with. If you need help, comment down below, like to get yourself to stop overeating, because that was a big problem of mine. I mean, you want to know it with seeing me, you know, like a little guy, or whatever. I'm medium. I'm medium. But you know what I mean, like you want to think about it maybe, but it was. So anyway, that's how this helped me overcome my overeating. And it is just like, it's powerful to watch yourself in that much pain and be like, okay, that's real. That's me. This is not worth it. Eating this is not worth it. You know, and I can honestly say that I no longer live to eat. I eat to live. I have a very strict diet, and I'm okay with that because I have so many other things in life that I enjoy and I love. And I hate that it took almost dying from a bone marrow disease and heart, you know, failure for me to get there. And I don't want that to be you. You know, as adults, it takes sometimes really traumatic things for us to learn. Children will learn a lot quicker, and they'll learn from other people a lot more, a lot easier than we will as adults. So if you can learn from other people's mistakes or other people's life lessons, do it. You do not want to have to go through something that's horrible in order to appreciate what you have. I hope those little tips there helped you out in some way or another. If they did or if they didn't, comment below, like, don't dislike, whatever. But until next time, I love you all. Be you and love fearlessly.